Astor presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Astor Screen Guild play tonight, First Love. The starring players:
This is Shirley Temple.
This is Peter Lawford.
And this is Arthur Treacher.
Tonight, Lady Astor presents the Screen Guild Players in Universal Pictures' charming comedy, First Love. It stars Peter Lawford as Ted Drake, Arthur Treacher as George, and Shirley Temple as Connie. The Lady Astor Screen Guild Players in First Love.
Dear, dear diary, this will have to be goodbye for a while. I'm afraid I'll be too busy to write. Well, just think, I'll be graduating in a little while. And afterward, I'm going to New York to live with Aunt Grace and Cousin Barbara. Of course, it isn't like having your own parents, I guess. But Aunt Grace has been so good to me, putting me through school and all. And Cousin Barbara is so glamorous. Her picture's always in the magazines. Oh, she ought to be here pretty soon. And when I introduce her to the other girls...
Oh, Connie.
Yes, Miss Wiggins?
Someone's here for you, Connie. You better go down.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, they're here. They come for me. Please make them like me. Please. I came right down, Aunt Grace. I beg your pardon.
Miss Harding?
Yes.
Miss Constance Harding?
Yes.
I am George.
George?
Yes, your aunt's butler, miss. We've come for you in the car.
Oh, they're here. Where are they? Why didn't they come in?
Well, you see...
Oh, I'll go right out. I shouldn't keep them waiting. Are they in the car?
Well, no, miss. Only the chauffeur and I are here.
Oh, they didn't come.
Well, I'm afraid they were very busy, miss. You know, Mrs. Clinton has her charities and Miss Barbara has oh so many things to do.
I understand. I guess I'd better go up and finish my packing.
I'm very sorry, miss.
Oh, it's quite all right. I don't mind. Really, I don't mind at all.
Oh, Connie.
Yes?
Well, now, what's this? Crying on your graduation day? What's the matter, Connie?
It's nothing, Miss Wiggins. It's just that, well, everyone else is going home. Everyone but me.
Oh, so that's it. Feeling sorry for yourself.
Oh, you don't understand.
Oh, yes, I do. You haven't got a father or mother to tell you how pretty and clever you are. No, poor little thing. All you've got is a personality and a mind and a talent. A gift for music that comes to 1 in a million.
Well, Miss Wiggins,
Connie, do you know what you've got to do?
What?
Laugh at yourself and laugh at the world. Then someday you'll meet your prince and live happily ever after.
Aren't those fairy tales a little old-fashioned?
Fiddlesticks, they come true every day. You just dust them off and streamline them a bit.
You mean cut a magic carpet with Aesop?
Yes, and find yourself a fairy godmother, even a homely old one like me. Now you go on up there to New York and make them love you the way we do here. Make your fairy tale come true yourself.
Well, that's a pretty big order, Miss Wiggins, but anyway, I can try.
There's the front door, Barbara. They're back.
Just in time to make us 2 hours late.
Now, darling, I didn't dream they'd be so long.
Good evening, madam. Your niece has arrived.
It's about time.
Hello, Barbara.
George, where have you been? We've been simply frantic. Agnes, my flowers.
Yes, ma'am, I have them right here.
Come on, Mother, we're late.
Yes, I'm coming, darling. Oh, Connie, my dear, dear baby, how are you? Barbara, you haven't said hello to Connie.
Hello, Connie. Glad to see you. Well, so am I. Oh, I'm so happy. Mother, please hurry. We're so late there won't be a photographer left.
Yes, I'm coming.
Good night, Connie.
Oh, good night, my dear. Good night.
Shall I Unpack your bags, miss?
No, thanks. I'll do them myself.
There'll be a light supper served, miss, as soon as you're ready.
I don't think I want anything.
Oh, but child, you must eat.
I'm not hungry.
Now, don't start taking the family too seriously.
Of course not, miss. You'll get used to them.
You think so?
Why not? We did.
Of course, if they didn't want me here, they didn't have to ask me, did they?
No, miss.
My Aunt Grace insisted.
So I understand, miss.
Well, then I am going to like this house and everyone in it. And everybody's going to like me.
A very cheerful thought, miss.
Say, don't you ever smile?
It's against the rules, miss.
Rules? What rules?
Butlers Union, Local 106.
You're funny, George. I think I will like it here.
Sure you will.
And look, they've got a grand piano. Does anyone in this house like music?
Well, speaking for myself, miss, I do and I don't.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's this way, miss. Some people may consider this an inspired concerto. My personal preference is somewhat above that, like this.
Oh, George, you're wonderful. What time do we eat?
Eat, miss? But you just said...
Oh, didn't I tell you? I've changed my mind. Agnes? Agnes!
Good afternoon, Miss Barbara. I've been waiting for you to wake up.
What time is it?
2:00. When Mr. Drake called, I said that you...
Who called?
Mr. Drake.
Ted Drake, and you didn't wake me?
I tried to, Miss Barbara. You threw the clock at me.
What did he say?
He said he was going to the club, and he wanted you to go riding with him and some other people. He said they'd be starting at 2:30 sharp.
2:30. Get my robe. Oh, I'll never be able to make it in time.
Can't you call him up and ask him to wait?
And let him think I'm running after him? My boots, you idiot. If I could only stop him, keep him from leaving until I... Wait, I know.
You got an idea?
It's an inspiration. Get that cousin of mine in here. Connie, you understand what I want. You've got to keep him from going off on that ride. But how? I don't care how. Fall in front of him, faint, make him revive you, steal his horse, do anything. As long as he's still there when I pull in. But I don't even know what he looks like. Ted Drake's the best catch in New York. You must have seen his picture. I don't think so. Well, there's one in the drawer of my dressing table. It's right on top. That's it. Well? My, he's good looking, isn't he? That picture is for identification only. Now get going, will you? George can take you over. I'll get a cab. Go on, hurry. All right.
Oh, Miss Connie.
George, are you ready? You have to take me over.
So I understand Miss Agnes informed me.
Do you know anything about stealing horses?
Well, I'm not exactly a professional, miss, but I brought a bag of sugar cubes along.
Oh, sugar, is that good?
Well, I can only say, miss, it isn't hay. Shall we go?
Not so loud. Do you want him to hear? He's right there in the clubhouse, you know. Ah, see what I've got for you? Some sugar. All you have to do is follow me. Ah, that's it. That's it. Oh, all right, all right. I was going to give it to you. Here. Oh, you like it, don't you? You'd like some more, wouldn't you? Well, just keep on walking. That boy. I've got a whole lot more for you. A whole purse full of sugar cubes. You just follow me and...
Just a minute, there.
Oh, gosh, there he is. I'd better get out of here.
Whoa, boy, whoa. Slow down there, boy. Easy.
Can't you hear him? He's calling you. Go back, horse. Go home. Go. Oh!
Young lady, what is the idea of taking my horse?
I didn't take him. He followed me.
Sure, and you jumped in that pond just to get away.
I didn't jump. You chased me and I fell.
I wasn't chasing you. I was chasing my horse.
Well, you don't have to be so mean and nasty and...
Now, take it easy. There's no reason to cry. Look, I didn't mean it. I tell you I'm sorry.
Then why don't you help me out of here?
Okay. Hang on. Up you come. That's it. Now, just sit down here for a moment and...
Oh,
Well, what's the trouble now?
I've got mud in my eye.
First time I ever heard that outside of a bar. You got a handkerchief?
No.
I'll get it out for you.
Oh. I
the
can't
matter?
go home
What's the matter now?
because, well, I'm a little dizzy.
A little? Isn't that conservative?
Oh, you'd better catch me. I think I'm going to...
No. No, hey, no, hey. Holy cow. She's passed out.
Ted? Oh, Ted.
Here, Barbara.
Ted, what are you doing?
Showing off my Boy Scout hose. This kid just fainted.
Oh, well, I'll take her, Ted. You run back to the clubhouse and get some smelling salts.
Okay, here, you hold it. I'll be back in a minute.
Barbara, did I do all right?
You didn't have to hang on to his neck.
Well, you said to faint, and someone had to catch me. You know, he's very strong.
You look a mess. You better get home.
But don't you think I should stay and thank him? He was very nice.
Well, you do as you're told.
But, Barbara, I only want to be polite.
If he sees you again, you'll spoil everything. Now run along home. I'll take care of Ted.
Dear Diary, guess what? I'm going to see him again. I mean, really see him. His family is giving a ball next week, and our family's invited. We're all invited, even me. At first, I didn't think I'd get to go. I haven't a single thing to wear. But Agnes is so wonderful. She's making my graduation dress over into an evening gown. Oh, Diary, please let me look nice. I've got to look nice. I've simply got to.
It's pretty hard to fix this dress of hers, George.
Yes, that's not a dress. It's more of a shroud.
Yeah, too bad Barbara isn't wearing it. You know, that youngster's heart would be broken. I've got to do something with this dress.
Well, naturally.
Like what?
Well, first you take the dress and then you hide it.
Huh?
And then you hide those slippers, too.
But, George!
And then you buy a whole new outfit.
With what?
With money.
Whose money?
Mine, yours.
And the cook and the chauffeur, they'll help, too.
She must look her best, you know, for a very special reason.
Oh, a fella, huh?
She keeps his picture under her pillow.
Is it autographed?
She clipped it from the rotogravure.
Well, what's he like? Is he good enough for her?
Oh, yes, an excellent family, quite well placed. He's rather handsome, too, and very popular.
Well, what's his name? Who is he, George?
I beg your pardon. Do you think I'm a cad?
It fits you pretty well, Miss Connie. Of course, it's cut a little low on the back.
Oh, it's wonderful, Agnes. I don't see how you did it. I just can't believe it's the same dress.
Well, when I remodel, I don't fool around. Here, I think you can put your slippers on now.
Those? Oh, they aren't mine. I'm sure they aren't.
Well, you see, we sent yours to a man to put some silver on them, and he kind of lost them, so he sent you a new pair.
Oh, but he shouldn't have done that. These silver slippers must be very expensive.
Oh, he's insured.
Yes. Come in.
Oh, this just came for you, miss. A corsage.
A corsage? Who sent it, George?
Well, there was no card, miss.
But I don't
Must be someone who hopes to see you at the ball. You know, a sort of...
Agnes? Agnes!
I'm in here, Miss Barbara.
You might give me some attention, you know. I want a large chiffon handkerchief, black, and my gold mesh bag. Well, isn't our little cousin dazzling?
Oh, Agnes did a wonderful job. She made it over for my graduation dress.
The way that dress is cut and back, it must have been a very liberal school.
Oh, I just love it, Barbara. You look nice, too.
Thanks.
Darlings, it's almost time to leave. Now, I hope you're both ready.
Oh, sure, we're ready, Aunt Grace.
Well, then I'll tell the chauffeur.
Mother.
Yes, dear.
Mother, I completely forgot. Uncle Jason phoned from Washington this afternoon. He's coming in tonight.
Tonight? Oh, but he can't. There won't be anyone here to welcome him.
That's what I was thinking, Mother.
How about George?
Oh, he despises George.
I beg your pardon, madam.
Oh, nothing personal, George. He despises me, too. I'd rather not be here when he arrives.
Well, Mother, I can't miss the ball. Ted would never forgive me.
Still, someone should be here, I suppose.
Could be anyone in the family. I mean, well, when you do so much for someone, the least they can do is...
George, will you put my flowers in the icebox, please?
Miss Connie, you mean you're staying home?
Well, there hasn't been any voting yet, but I've got a feeling that I'm elected.
second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in just a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
I have at last accomplished after many years what I've always wanted to do. I've achieved a shade that takes the guesswork out of face powder. One shade that's equally flattering to 4 basic skin types. I asked a group of young college women to try this exciting new shade, which is called Bridal Pink. And unanimously, in their own delighted words, they said, "It's out of this world, simply out of this world." For in that group of young women were a blonde, a brunette, a girl with auburn hair, a girl with brown hair. And all, without exception, took on a new look, a fresher, more romantic look, the instant they applied Lady Esther Bridal Pink. You see, Bridal Pink is not just a new shade. It's an entirely new kind of powder shade. Many women have already written to tell me about the fascinating, unexpected things it does for their appearance. The way it gives tone and color to a lifeless skin. The way it instantly wakens and beautifies a muddy or sallow skin. The way it gives a young, vivacious look, a romantic, happy-as-a-bride look to almost every skin it touches. In my opinion, there's never been anything to compare with Bridal Pink face powder, and I do hope you'll try it so you can see and judge for yourself. Your druggist may be sold out of Bridal Pink because the demand for it has been far greater than expected, but keep on trying. Ask your druggist to order it for you or try some other store, but accept no other shade. For no shade has the amazing quality of Lady Esther Bridal Pink to beautify practically every skin it touches.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of First Love, starring Arthur Treacher, Shirley Temple, and Peter Lawford.
Well, they've gone now. I just heard the car drive off. I guess it was silly of me to dream. Oh, it's silly to dream and wish and hope for anything so much.
Oh, Miss Connie, Miss Connie.
Yes, George?
Oh, you haven't much time, miss. You'll have to hurry.
Hurry? Where?
What, to the ball, miss? Everything's been arranged.
Oh, but I'll have to stay here. Uncle Jason's coming.
Ah, not until 1, miss. You'll be back by then. You'll be leaving the ball at 12. Now, come along now. You'd better hurry.
Oh, this is wonderful. Let me see now. My flowers, my wrap, my purse.
And if I may suggest it, your slipper.
Oh, yes. It was a little tight, so I took it off. It's new, you know.
Yes, yes. Now, remember, miss, you must leave the ball at 12 o'clock sharp.
Oh, George, it's just like Cinderella. And you're my fairy godmother.
Really, miss? I didn't think I was the type.
You're sure it'll work, George? You positive?
Oh, Agnes, if I may permit myself the observation, everything is in the groove. The family left here at 9 o'clock, and exactly 12 minutes after 9, the car will be stopped by a motorcycle policeman.
That would be Mike.
Yes, by great good fortune, a lodge brother of mine. The Ancient and Independent Order of Blue Men. He will ask the chauffeur to show his driver's license, and when the chauffeur is unable to produce it...
The family will all land in the clink.
And stay there until 12 o'clock.
But are you sure the chauffeur won't have his license?
I am not in the habit of leaving things to chance. He carries that document in his pigskin wallet, and Agnes, I stitched it.
We ought to be here somewhere. He's got to be here. This is his home. It's his party. It's...
Oops. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Drake.
Oh, it's my fault. I should have watched where I was going.
Oh, no, it's all my fault. I was looking around. I mean, so many beautiful girls and...
They ought to be looking at you. They will be, too, and take my word, they'll be jealous.
It's a very nice party, isn't it?
Yes, it is, now.
I didn't think I was going to get here. I mean...
Oh, that would have been terrible, Miss... by the way, how's the rest of your, how's everybody?
Oh, well, I haven't seen them since... Oh, all right, I guess.
Still live at the same old place on...
Oh, yes, the same place.
Well, so do we.
Some champagne, miss. Mr. Ted.
I think so. Young lady?
Well, maybe just a little.
Thank you, Ames.
Quite welcome, sir.
Well, beautiful, here's mud in your eye.
That's very funny.
What?
Mud in my eye.
What, Wait a minute. Say that again.
What?
Mud in your eye.
Oh, but that's so silly.
It's a miracle. The pond. No wonder I didn't know you. You look so different. Look, there's so much noise in here. Let's go outside.
Where?
The balcony.
But what are we going to do with the glasses?
Find a wall somewhere and smash them. Aren't we celebrating a reunion?
Ted. Ted, how long have we been sitting out here?
Who knows? Who cares?
I wonder if you could...
Go ahead.
Oh, it wasn't anything. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say what a shame it is I have to leave next week.
Leave?
Yeah, I'm going on an expedition to South America with Dr. Mackenzie.
Oh, will you be away long?
6 months about.
It should be fun.
Yeah, we have our own boat. Sailboat with an auxiliary, big diesel engine.
Diesel engines are wonderful.
So are you. The most wonderful girl I've ever met.
What's a diesel engine?
Don't you know?
No.
Well, why didn't you ask?
How could I? You were kissing me.
You want to know something? We still got time. I mean, we could...
Time? What time is it?
A couple of minutes after 12.
After 12, I've got to go.
Go, you can't
Oh,
go.
I've got to, I promise. Goodbye and thanks.
Wait, I don't even know your name. You can't run away again. Hey, wait. Come back. You forgot your slipper.
Wilma, it was just horrible. Just imagine being stopped by a policeman and taken to jail. And, oh, it was awful. I've simply got to tell Ted.
Sure, if you can catch up with him.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's been running around here like mad, with a silver slipper in his hand. It belongs to that girl.
What girl?
The pretty one. I'd never seen her before. Ted keeps muttering something about losing her twice. Once at the pond and now...
The pond? Did she have a white gown cut rather low in back?
Well, not as low as yours, my dear.
Thanks. Be seeing you, Wilma. I've got to get home. I'll call Ted and explain in the morning.
I don't know. Maybe this crazy business is catching.
Oh, it was wonderful, George. I don't know where to begin.
Well, I like to begin at the beginning, miss. Shall we say the first dance?
Well, I didn't really dance. You see, he asked me to go out on the balcony.
He, I presume, is young Mr. Ted.
Oh, then you know.
Who doesn't?
Miss Barbara, I didn't hear you come in.
How fortunate. You may go, George.
Yes, miss.
Barbara, I'd like to explain.
Oh, there's really nothing to explain.
Oh, but there is. You see,
Connie, darling, it was perfect. Ted said he never had so much fun in his life.
Fun?
Well, what else? Ted thought you were trying to crash the party, so he decided to rib you a little bit. You should hear him telling about it.
Telling about it?
My dear, and leaving your slipper. That was so touching. Ted's going to use it to find you again. He wants to hire you to play the same joke on a friend in Boston. I'll phone him tomorrow and tell him you're here.
You needn't bother. But tomorrow morning, I won't be here. So you see, Miss Wiggins, there really wasn't any other place I could go. And you told me I had a talent for music, and, well, I thought if I could live here and sort of earn my way, maybe I could teach the younger girls.
For all the rest of your life?
Oh, I'd like to teach music. I'm sure I would. It's a fine career.
Most of them want to be missionaries.
Who?
Oh, girls like you. So you'd like to be a teacher, eh?
If I could be one like you.
And spend half of your nights crying.
Miss Wiggins, I thought you were so happy here.
Old maids are only happy when they cry. Connie, dear, you've got a long way ahead of you. So you want to be sure you're on the right road.
I am sure.
Whatever road you choose may be rough at times. So you want to be sure you've got the right shoes. The right shoes, and 2 of them.
I don't understand.
You will. All right, gentlemen. Come in.
Good afternoon, Miss Connie.
George, what are you doing here?
Miss Connie, there's someone here to see you.
Who?
Excuse me, but, does this slipper happen to belong to you?
Ted.
You didn't think I wouldn't try to find you? You couldn't believe a thing like that.
No.
And promise you'll never run away again? Promise?
I promise.
All right, then. Try that slipper on for size. And if it fits, I'll give you both my blessing.
And I mine.
Just like one of those streamlined fairy tales. Only, do you know what?
What?
I've got 2 fairy godmothers, and one of them belongs to the Butlers Union.
Thank you, Shirley Temple, Peter Lawford, and Arthur Treacher for a delightful half hour. Your appearance with the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players means a great deal to the Motion Picture Relief Fund and its country house, both largely supported by these radio programs. And now, Shirley, wasn't there something you wanted to say?
Just this, Mr. Bradley. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone wants his brothers back home, just as fast as possible. I ought to know. I've got a couple of brothers, too. Let's bring them all home. Let's bring them home soon. Let's buy that extra war bond today. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Temple. Ladies, I just wish I could send a box of Lady Esther Bridal Pink Face Powder to every woman in America. I wish every woman now listening, regardless of the shade of her hair or the tone of her skin, could try this astonishing new shade. Could see the delightful, unexpected things it does for her appearance. Bridal pink is not for just one particular type of coloring like other powder shades. It's equally flattering to blondes and brunettes, to those with auburn hair and those with brown hair. And that's not all. Lady Esther Bridal Pink is unusual in texture, too. A face powder so smooth and clinging it doesn't even look like powder. The effect is elusive, almost indescribable. That's why I'm so eager to have you try it. I'd like you to see the fascinating baby-like finish Lady Esther Bridal Pink gives your skin. I'd like you to see how it helps blend out flaws and makes little blemishes disappear, how it helps erase signs of weariness and fatigue. The response to Lady Esther Bridal Pink has been phenomenal, and we've not been able to keep up with the demand. So if your druggist is sold out of it, you may have to wait for his next shipment or try some other store. But do not accept any other color, for remember, no powder shade can give you the happy, radiant look of a woman in love like Lady Esther Bridal Pink.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players will present The Desert Song. It will star Bruce Cabot and Dennis Morgan. Be sure to listen. Shirley Temple appeared through the courtesy of David O. Selznick and can currently be seen in I'll Be Seeing You. Peter Lawford can soon be seen in the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture Son of Lassie. Arthur Treacher appeared through the courtesy of the Jack Carson Campbell Soup program. First Love was broadcast through the courtesy of Universal Pictures, producers of This Is the Spirit. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. You save enough on the largest size jar of Lady Esther face cream to buy a box of Lady Esther face powder. So remember, ask for the largest size. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther, saying thank you and good night, everyone. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, The Desert Song. The starring players...
This is Dennis Morgan.
This is Francia White.
And this is Bruce Cabot.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild players in Warner Brothers' Desert Song, based on the immortal operetta by Sigmund Romberg. It stars Bruce Cabot as Colonel Fontaine, Dennis Morgan as Paul Hudson, and Francia White as Margot. The Lady Esther Screen Guild players in the Desert Song. Morocco, the brooding desert, silent and mysterious beneath a timeless moon. On the crest of a sand dune near Ben-Hur, a white-robed rider reins in his horse, and for a moment stands there motionless, etched against the pale blue sky. No sound, no movement now, till suddenly he lifts his voice. An ageless Arab call that echoes through the centuries. It rolls across the desert sands, and then from far away comes back again. First from one shadowed dune, then from another, until 100 voices take it up. These are the Riffs, the fiercest tribesmen of the desert. And as they crowd their horses about their leader...
El Kabar, which way do we ride? The railroad construction camp at Ben-Nur. They hold some of our people there in chains and slavery, under French guard. Tonight they will be free.
El Kabar has spoken. Tonight they will be free.
There's a place beneath the sun for all. When we're one for one and one for all, we rise or fall by that creed. Call your brothers when you're in need. Oh, show them that surrender isn't all. There's no barricade or prison wall can keep a free man enslaved. We'll rally till we have saved them one and all.
Attack and death in the desert night. And the next afternoon in the town of Totnes, at Benoit's Cafe, Paul Hudson, who plays the piano in the orchestra, and Margot, the lovely singing star of the show.
Paul, it's so hot. Do you think we need rehearse this number?
Well, you'll want to be good tonight. Colonel Fontaine will be at his regular table.
What makes you so sure?
Isn't he always?
The Colonel happens to be a very busy man. The Riffs attacked the railroad track last night.
Yes, so I hear.
The Colonel told me they killed 20 of his men and freed all the prisoners.
Did he say prisoners or slaves?
Paul, I've been here such a short time, and there's so many things I don't understand. What's all this fighting about?
Oh, it's simple enough. They're building a railroad through the desert.
Who?
A French banking mob, with the blessing of the government. They've made a deal with the Qaid Youssef, sort of a local big shot, to supply the labor. Only Youssef's found out he can't deliver.
But if he has the government behind him...
It's no soap. That desert in July is murder. Only a crazy man would volunteer.
Then how do they manage?
They manage fine. The Qaid Youssef trumps up a charge of revolt. The colonel's men attack some little Riff village and bring in a gang of prisoners, and the work goes on.
That isn't what the Colonel said. He told me those Riffs are absolutely savage.
Well, maybe they are. Savage about their freedom. I guess I'd be, too.
Paul, you seem so strange at times. Not at all like an American. How did you ever get in Morocco?
Well, I don't know yet.
I mean, how'd you get here?
From Spain, right after Franco won. I was traveling for my health.
But you seem so much at home, so much a part of the place. And I've noticed the way the natives treat you, almost as though you weren't a foreigner at all, as though you...
Look, we're wasting time. You better try that song. You want to dedicate this one to Colonel Fontaine?
Very well, if you insist. To Colonel Fontaine.
Colonel Fontaine, there is something I must discuss with you. I rather thought I would find you here.
And why not, Your Excellency? Especially when Mademoiselle Margot's singing. Don't you agree, Your Excellency?
Colonel Fontaine, you must know I did not come here to listen to music.
Oh, yes, I know. The Qaid Yousef is always thinking of business.
These raids by El Khobar must stop at once. They are wiping out my profits on the railroad contract. And when I lose money, my friend, so do you.
Your Excellency, we've tried every means to capture the rascal, from direct attack to generous bribes. But the natives won't cooperate. They look upon this El Khobar as a great leader, a sort of, a minor saint.
You mean the spy for him?
The city's crawling with his spies. They know every move we make, almost before we do.
Do you suspect anyone?
Everyone. Even Père Fanfan, the Frenchman who runs that native cafe. But it's worth any soldier's life to enter what they impudently call the forbidden area.
They would never attack a man of your importance.
I'm not so sure.
Not if you went there with an attractive lady.
A lady?
I know these natives better than you. They would regard you as being off duty, as merely showing the quarter to a tourist.
Perhaps. But where will I find the attractive lady?
Colonel, for a man of your great talents, that should be the easiest of all.
Yes?
El Khobar, the Café of Père Fanfan, at once.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought me here, Colonel. I never dreamed a place like this existed.
It's run by Père Fanfan, an old legionnaire who's turned completely native. I've rather wondered about him at times, but I've never been quite able to...
Well, good evening.
Oh.
It seems we are about to be three.
Well, hello, Colonel. Isn't this a little off your beat?
Our charming friend here wanted to see how the other half of the city lives.
She has a very good guide. This place isn't on the standard 20-franc tour.
Is that why you like it?
No, I come here whenever I'm homesick. Reminds me of a speakeasy I used to live in back in New York. Same rotten drinks, same noise, same rotten piano.
Monsieur Hudson, you know most of these natives, don't you?
Yes, most of them.
How would you like to work for me?
No, thanks. I have a job.
Paul, what's that you're playing?
Oh, a love song. Don't you know it?
I don't think so.
You ought to. I'll run through it for you. You may want to put it in the show next week.
Lonely as a desert breeze, I may wander where I please, yet I keep on longing just to rest a while, where a sweetheart's tender eyes takes the place of sand and skies, all the world forgotten in one woman's smile, one alone to be my own, I alone to know caresses, one to be eternally, the one my worshipping soul possesses. At her call I'd give my all my life and all my love enduring. This would be a magic world to me if she were
Paul, oh, Paul, that was so lovely.
I'm glad you liked it, Margot.
I can answer that, monsieur. I felt as though I were intruding.
Colonel, in a public place like this?
It's not so public now. Please just look around you, mademoiselle.
Why, they've all gone. All those natives. Everyone's disappeared.
Oh, don't you think that that's rather strange?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the song. I got away from the cafe as soon as I could. I think Fontaine is getting suspicious.
You're in danger, Escobar. The Qaid Youssef is putting our captured men to the torture, trying to force them to say who you are.
How many of our men does he hold at his palace?
20, 30, perhaps more. If we could draw Fontaine into the desert, then we could go in and deliver them. We could...
No, Fontaine's too smart a soldier to fall for the same trick twice. We must think of something else. Hassan.
But what?
Once I heard Yusuf say, the rifts are like sugar in a coffee cup. The longer you look at them, the less you see.
It's an old saying and true.
Well, suppose we change that now and let them see us face to face.
El Kobar, we'd walk into a trap.
Yes, Hassan, but it will be our trap. And I think I know just the right bait to use.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in just a moment, but now a word from Lady Esther.
How do you select a shade of face powder? By the way it looks in the box? By the way it looks on a friend? Or have you used the same shade for years just because you're used to it? So many women use the wrong shade of powder without realizing it. But they realize the difference soon enough when they change to Lady Esther Bridal Pink. For they can see at a glance what life and tone, what fascinating new warmth and daintiness Bridal Pink gives their skin. Bridal Pink takes the guesswork out of choosing a powder shade. It ends completely the risk of choosing a shade that's too yellow or too pink, or that makes your skin look dull and lifeless. You see, Bridal Pink is a new kind of powder shade, blended by means of an amazing modern development in color blending. It's intensely flattering to 4 basic skin types. Whether your hair is blonde, brunette, auburn, or brown, you will find that Lady Esther Bridal Pink instantly gives a more youthful, a more dynamic look to your entire appearance. I don't believe there's ever been a shade of powder that so instantly wakened and beautified even a dull, sallow skin. One young woman wrote, "Lady Esther, I really didn't know I could look and feel so attractive." And an older woman said, "Bridal pink gives such a fresh, radiant look to my skin, I actually feel 10 years younger." The demand for bridal pink has exceeded all expectations, and your druggist may be sold out of it, but ask him to order it for you. Accept no other shade, for remember, you can't possibly put Lady Esther Bridal Pink on your face without instantly looking younger and far more fascinating.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of the Desert Song, starring Francia White, Bruce Cabot, and Dennis Morgan. The African night again, still and mysterious. And the plan of El Kobar is beginning to unfold. Margot has been kidnapped by the Riffs, taken from the town and brought to their secret desert camp. And now Hassan stands guard at her tent, silent and immovable as she protests.
Why have you brought me here, and why are you keeping me? You said you'd take me to Paul. You said he was in trouble, that he needed me.
I do.
Paul?
It's all right, Hassan. You can go.
Yes, El Kobar.
El Kobar, did he say?
El Kobar.
You?
Margot, this isn't just a crazy gag. Your being here tonight may save 20-odd lives. But you've got to believe me. Trust in me.
What must I do?
Nothing. Just remain here till I send you back. Is that so difficult?
I don't know. The desert does strange things to you. The night and, all those tribesmen around the fire and that native music.
That's an old Tuareg love song. As old as the desert.
As old as that?
As old as the world. As old as love.
My desert is waiting. Dear, come there with me.
I'm longing to teach you love's sweet melody. I'll sing a dream song to you.
Painting a picture for a tour. Blue heaven and you and I, and sand kissing a moonlit sky.
The desert breeze will only stars above you to see I love you.
Oh, give me that night divine, and let my arms in yours entwine. The desert song falling, nice and flooding, will make
Margot, darling,
Paul, my dear. You too?
right from the start, the very first time I saw you, you must have guessed.
El Kobar.
You must have known.
El Kobar, the lookout has arrived. He says Fontaine has left the town with his men to look for her.
Then he's taken the bait. Now we can take our call on Cade Yusuf.
Paul?
You've done your job, Margot. We'll take you back.
But you'll be careful, darling, won't you?
Don't worry, it's a cinch. Now that we have Fontaine out of the way.
Fontaine!
Colonel Fontaine.
Hello, Paul.
Colonel,
Yes, Battalion.
just as you figured it, sir. They rode into town half an hour ago. The east gate.
Did you capture any of them?
We opened fire on this scattered through the native quarter. We've got it shut off, sir. They can't get away.
Good. Attention, men, we're going back. Tell them about full gallop.
I saw him, Colonel. He had a red mask. It's El Cobar himself.
And you let him get away?
No, sir. I've got my men all around the place. He must be somewhere in that cafe.
Fan's place, eh? So I was right about him. Sergeant, have you looked inside?
Yes, sir. The only one we found was the American, the piano player. There. You can hear him yourself, Colonel. He's playing now.
And singing. Now, that's rather curious in an empty room. I think I'd better have a look.
Though you hold me in your spell, I know so well my fate is in your hand. Long live the night in all its splendor. Long may the moon light up the blue. All through the night, softly and tender, I'll sing my song of love to you. Here in my arms, let me enfold you, and as the stars shine from above, tell me you're mine, and as I hold you, long live the night in memory of our love.
Bravo, my friend. You're an excellent voice.
Oh, hello, Colonel. Didn't see you come in.
How long have you been here?
A couple of hours, I guess. Why?
When were you last outside the city walls?
I don't know. Last month sometime. Why, what's on your mind?
That dust on your boots. Oh, well, so after 2 years, I find El Cobar. I find him playing the piano. Isn't that amusing?
Well, I've had bigger laughs, but I see the point.
You know, you're a friendly fellow, and I'll try and see that you get a fair trial.
Thanks.
Might be difficult, though. Paris is rather touchy about that railroad. It's so important to France.
To France? Are you nuts, Fontaine? Don't you know who's behind that Trans-Siberia line?
Well, of course I know. Syndicate of French bankers.
Listen, if you think this railroad is being built by and for the French, you're crazy. Sure, the bankers have a dummy front in Paris, but the real headquarters is Geneva. And the money comes straight from Berlin.
Berlin?
Hitler to Geneva to Yusuf. What we'd call in Brooklyn a smart double play.
Hitler, I don't believe that. Why?
Because if those Nazis take over Europe, and they're going to try, what would be the shortest route across the Atlantic? From Dakar. Right from where the railroad is headed for.
Oh, Paul, if I thought for a minute you were telling the truth...
Listen, Fontaine, I'll make a deal with you. You want proof about Yusuf? So do I. Give me 1 hour, that's all. If I can't get the proof, I'll come back here and give myself up. What do you say?
Well, I say as you say. It's a deal, except for one thing.
What?
You won't have to come back here. I'll come along.
How about it, Fontaine? Is that voice crowdy enough for you? He's in there laying down the law to Yusuf.
Don't talk so much. Hand that flashlight over here. I want to check these papers.
Contracts.
Yes, between the Kaid Yusuf and...
Uh-oh. I didn't see that lamp.
Who's there? Who is it? Do not move or I... Ah!
Was machen Sie da? Wer sind Sie?
I may need your testimony, Paul. Naturally, it was self-defense.
Naturally.
Well, I must hurry now. These papers will go to Paris at once, and this may mean a medal for you.
And for the riffs?
Justice and fair treatment. You have my word.
Paul, I've looked everywhere. I'm so worried about you.
Worried? What for? Didn't I tell you I was raised in Brooklyn?
Over the ground, there comes a sound. It is the drum, drum, drum of hoofbeats in the sun. Into the clear, galloping near. It is the thunder of El Cobar and his band. And all who plunder learn to understand, a cry of, oh, there's a place beneath the sun for all. When we're all for one and one for all, we rise or fall by that creed. Call your brothers when you're in need. Call, so then that surrender isn't all. There's no barricade or prison wall can keep a free man enslaved. We'll rally till we have saved them one and all. Oh, there's a place beneath the sun for all. When we're all for one and one for all, we rise or fall by that creed. Call your brothers when you're in need. Oh, so that surrender isn't all. There's no barricade or prison wall can keep a free man enslaved. We'll rally till we have saved them one and all.
Thank you, Dennis Morgan, Bruce Cabot, and Francia White for your colorful performances, which have contributed so much to our enjoyment this evening and to the Motion Picture Relief Fund in its country house, both largely supported by this radio program. And now...
I know, Mr. Bradley.
You do, Francia? All right, then, say it.
And now, before we tell you about next week's program, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss White. Ladies, if you aren't sure what shade of face powder is best for you, make Lady Esther Bridal Pink your choice. For with Bridal Pink, you can make no mistake. It's not for just one type of skin coloring. It's flattering to 4 basic skin types. Bridal Pink has the amazing quality of dramatizing practically every skin it touches. And it's not only the color of Bridal Pink that's so remarkable. You'll find that the texture of Lady Esther face powder is unusual, too. It gives a more delicate and youthful finish to your skin. It helps blend out flaws and hide little blemishes. It clings softly, hour after hour, never letting shiny patches show through. The response to the new Lady Esther shade, Bridal Pink, has been phenomenal. For women can actually see the years slip away when they apply it, can actually see themselves become younger looking, better looking. If your druggist is sold out of Bridal Pink, you may have to wait for his next shipment or try some other store. But please do not accept any other color. For remember, no powder shade can give you the happy, radiant look of a woman in love like Lady Esther Bridal Pink.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Joy of Living. It will star Louise Albritton and Robert Young. Be sure to listen. Dennis Morgan can now be seen in the Warner Brothers picture God Is My Co-Pilot. Bruce Cabot is currently working in the 20th Century Fox production Fallen Angel. The Desert Song was presented through the courtesy of Warner Brothers, producers of Pillow to Post. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. You save enough on the largest size jar of Lady Esther face cream to buy a box of Lady Esther face powder. So remember, ask for the largest size. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther, saying thank you and good night all. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, Joy of Living, The starring players.
This is Robert Young.
And this is Louise Albritton.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in RKO Radio Pictures' delightful comedy, Joy of Living. It stars Louise Albritton as Margaret Garrett and Robert Young as Dan Brewster. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in Joy of Living. No, you're wrong, folks. It's not a riot. It's just that Margaret Garrett, the toast of Broadway, has opened in a new show tonight. And as she leaves the theater, her rabid fans are waiting to, shall we say, adore her.
I got an autograph.
Oh, please, I got a coat button.
Hey, please. Hey, look, I got a hell of a coat.
Please don't.
Yes, she's having a pretty rough time of it. But just when it seems they'll tear her apart, a big, good-looking fellow pushes through the crowd, shoves the others aside, sweeps her up in his arms, and grins.
Don't worry, I'll get you to your car.
Oh, hey, put me down, you big O. I said put me down.
Quit kicking, I'm just trying to help. There we are. This is your car, isn't it?
Oh, where's my chauffeur? Where is he? Mike!
I'll get him for you. Officer, tell Miss Garrett's chauffeur to hurry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, officer. Wait. I don't know this man.
Now, take it easy. Don't get excited.
Excited? Who's excited? Get out of here.
Miss Garrett, is he annoying you?
Oh, I never saw him before. He picked me up.
Oh, a masher, eh? I'll run him in.
Say, Miss Garrett, where was you? I was waiting at the...
Oh, Mike, thank heaven. Get me out of here. Take me home.
Right.
Believe me, Miss Garrett, it was a pleasure. Goodbye. Well, all right, officer, I'm at your service.
That's my service, he says. Say, what's so funny about being pinched?
Look, I follow her to Boston, New Haven, Philadelphia, every place the show tries out, just to meet her. And when I meet her, she has me arrested. I think that's funny.
I think you're nuts.
And the whole thing might have ended there, except for Miss Garrett's family. Father, mother, sister, and brother-in-law. And if you'd like to know a little something about them, well, just step into Miss Garrett's room next morning and listen to her secretary sounding off.
They're not a family. They're a bunch of leeches. They'll leave you drier than the Los Angeles River.
But, Harrison, I am making money.
Sure you are, but not enough. Did you know your first week's salary is attached?
Attached? Oh, it couldn't be. I made over $200,000 last year.
That's what I said. It wasn't enough. Father's stock market donations, mother's antiques, 3 cars, the house, your sister's publicity. And whoever told her she was an actress?
Oh, darling,
You
listen.
support her husband, the lazy lug. Help balance the national budget. Pay your state tax. And then what's left? Not enough for a down payment on a ham sandwich.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that bad. I know so little about business, but... Oh, but Harrison, you won't worry the family about it, will you?
Worry the family? Are you kidding?
Well, they'd do the same for me. If I needed help, they'd give me everything they own.
That's your story. I just hope you're not stuck with it. Oh, sorry, Maggie. What are you going to do this morning?
Oh, they wrote a new scene for the second act, and they want to use it tonight. I'll have to learn it.
Well, you go ahead and study. I'll mush on downtown and see what I can do about the attachment.
Well, I guess I better tackle that scene. Let's see now. She moves forward, speaking softly. Just let me look at you. Don't move. Don't make a sound.
Dennis, for the last time, will you please stop drinking for me?
But, darling, whoever said I was drinking for you?
Don't move. Don't make a sound. Don't break the spell.
Maggie, everything for Maggie. Why does it always have to be her? I've got a career to think about, too.
Just let me look at you. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Don't break
Hey,
the...
Selena, it's on. I tell you, that's the best show on the air.
Oh, what's the use? Hello? Hello, Mike. I'm so glad you're down there. Get the car out and bring the portable phonograph. No, I don't know where I'm going. I know I'm just going out. Mike, have you got the phonograph?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
I beg your pardon?
Uh-huh. Oh, you.
I'd like to speak to Miss Margaret Garrett.
Miss Garrett is not at home.
Oh. Well, when do you expect her?
Never.
Well, if you see her, tell her I didn't call.
Look, if it's so important, why don't you put an ad in the paper?
That's a good idea. I'll say Mr. Dan Brewster, ex-kidnapper and sidewalk Sir Galahad, desires to give an explanation to and accept an apology from Miss Margaret Garrett, actress. Bit of a snob and very much of a meanie.
You know, you could make a lot of money just staying away from people.
Amen, sister.
Hallelujah. Mike, drive anywhere in a hurry. Mike, help me rehearse this scene, will you? Here's the script, page 10.
Yes, ma'am. Ready?
Go ahead.
Guinevere, my love.
Your Highness.
Oh, darling, we must not hurt each other like this. Tomorrow is me coronation.
But I had to come. I had to see you just once more.
Oh, me love, we are lost. This must be the hour of part. Trembling with passion, he draws her to him, closes his eyes, and...
Oh, hey, Mike,
What happened?
Well, you nearly killed us. You had your eyes closed.
Gee, I guess I got carried away with that speech.
You were reading the stage directions.
Huh?
Look, start the phonograph and give me the song cue.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, what's the matter?
Looks like we got a passenger.
A passenger where?
I seen him in the mirror. He's out on the trunk rack.
On the trunk rack? Well, I didn't see any...
Greetings, Guinevere.
Oh, that man. Mike, pull over to the curb.
Sure.
I'll tell him a thing or two. Now, look here, my good man.
I know, milady. This must be the hour of parting.
Oh, why don't you go away?
I can't.
You must be crazy.
Perhaps.
You'll get arrested.
Why not?
Why not?
Sure, good idea.
Good idea.
I insist.
You insist.
Pardon me, is your needle stuck?
Look,
Look, Mike, I'm afraid that Guinevere's without words. To the nearest police court, and don't spare the horsepower.
Smashing is a very serious offense, young man. Your name?
Dan Brewster, Your Honor.
Your occupation?
I have a boat, a tramp.
You mean to stand there and say that you're a
No,
tramp?
not me, sir. The boat. It's a tramp steamer. I have her tied up at Johnson's Wharf.
I see. Young man, are you represented by counsel?
Well, Your Honor, in mashing cases, I always represent myself.
Very well. Present your case.
Thank you. Miss Garrett, will you take the stand?
Gladly.
Now, Miss Garrett, you claim that I've been disturbing you.
Oh, that's the understatement of the year.
Did it ever occur to you how much you've disturbed me?
Well, Your Honor, must I submit to this?
If it has any bearing on the case, proceed.
Miss Garrett, do you realize what you've done to my life? Made me go places I didn't want to go, destroyed my appetite, sabotaged my sleep.
Me?
For months now, you're all I've thought about, talked about, dreamed about. Maggie, if you only knew how I feel.
Oh, well, but after all...
After all, this is a court of law, not a Lonely Hearts Club.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I didn't mean to air this purely personal matter. I'll pay whatever fine the court decides.
Oh, you will?
Well, what else can I do?
You can do 6 months.
6 months?
6 months?
6 months.
Oh, but Your Honor, I only wanted him in jail for 2 or 3 days, or fined a few dollars, but 6 months, that's terrible. Look, couldn't we just call the whole thing off?
Impossible.
Oh, dear.
But I could suspend sentence, put him on probation.
You could?
Yes. Now, if you know a responsible party living in this city...
Oh. Well, I'm sorry, sir. The only person I know in New York is, Miss Garrett.
Now, just a minute,
Miss Garrett, would you accept this responsibility?
Oh, no, I can't. I couldn't.
Well, I've tried to be lenient. Lock him up.
No, wait, don't lock him up. I'll do it, Your Honor.
Well, now, don't get excited.
Excited? Who's excited?
Maybe I am. Daniel Brewster, I hereby place you on probation. Report to Miss Garrett every Tuesday and Friday. Next case.
Miss Garrett, may I see you to your car?
You know where I'd like to see you.
Such grammar. Where shall I report to you? At your home or the theater?
Now, look, this has all been a lot of fun, and you are amusing. But I happen to be a busy woman. Go play your jokes on someone else, will you?
You really think that's all they were? Jokes?
What am I supposed to think?
I don't know. But I can tell you it's your fault I left Paradise.
Paradise.
Are you sure you feel all right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear bells and funny brown hats?
No. Paradise is the name of my island in the Gulf of Mexico. My home. I bought it from the Mexican government, so I could...
Oh, I know. So you could get away from it all.
That's it. No wars down there, no recession. Plenty of fruit just growing wild.
So you just lie on the shore of a blue lagoon and lie and lie and lie.
Well, between lies, I haul cargoes.
Hey, will you haul one for me?
What?
You.
Oh,
I'm tired of seeing your big hulking flame. Will you take it somewhere and dispose of it?
I'd be glad to, Miss Garrett. Until next Tuesday.
Oh, you...
Excuse me, is Miss Garrett in? I'm supposed to come here.
I know. I'm Miss Garrett's little girl, Friday.
Well, it's nice to meet you. Will you tell her I'm here?
She knows you're here. That's why I came down.
Oh.
She says you're an oaf, a brute, and a lunkhead.
Isn't that wonderful? I like her, too. Hello, it's Friday. I came... Tuesday again, and I'm here... Another Friday. Will you tell Miss Garrett that I'll... Well, look who's here. I wonder if you know what day this is. They know.
It's no use, Mr. Brewster. She simply despises you.
Isn't she an angel, Harrison?
She says she'll never speak to you.
That's great. Well, I'll be back on Friday.
Look here. If you think you can catch her as she leaves Columbia Broadcasting Studio Monday night at 10:30, right after she's finished doing a radio show, you're crazy.
What was that?
Well, aren't you?
And how?
Taxi! Sutton Place, please.
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute, please. Miss Garrett, can I have your autograph?
Oh, Dan Brewster, you stop that.
Oh, please, Miss Garrett.
Hey, is that Margaret Garrett? She's a veiled fool me. Miss Garrett, how about an autograph?
Please.
That's all we want. Just your autograph, Miss Garrett.
Hey, did you hear that, Mamie? It's Margaret Garrett.
Miss Garrett, would you sign this, please?
Now, don't crowd, folks. Don't crowd. Miss Garrett will accommodate all. Don't shout, folks. There's plenty of time.
Oh, you brute, you started this.
I'm the one that can turn it off.
Oh, never. Officer!
Hey, what is this? What's going on here?
Officer, Miss Garrett is having a little trouble.
Miss Garrett?
Yeah.
You mean Margaret Garrett?
Uh-huh.
Look, Miss Garrett, I got a little girl. Will you just sign here? Right here, get back, will you? What's the matter?
Please.
Look, anytime you want to call it off.
No, please get me out of this.
You mean you give up? You'll be a good girl? Willing to
Anything-
promise?
Anything at all, just get me out.
It's a deal. Now, stand back, folks. Stand back. This lady has measles. Sure she has. That's why she's wearing a veil. That's right. Be sensible. No use taking chances. Okay, cabby, let's get going. Anywhere and make it fast. The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in just a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
Do you believe in miracles? Would you like to see a miracle happen? See a real transformation take place in the appearance of your skin? Now, these are the exact words women themselves write me. Women who have used my new powder shade, Bridal Pink. They say the instant they apply Bridal Pink, they look different. They say their skin takes on life and tone, takes on unmistakable new beauty, like the radiance of a bride on her wedding day. That's why I call this new powder shade Bridal Pink. It doesn't look pink on your skin. It has a subtle, elusive quality that's flattering as candlelight. And here's the most important thing. Lady Esther Bridal Pink is a new kind of powder shade, blended to beautify the 4 basic skin types. It isn't just for one particular type of coloring like other powder shades. Bridal Pink dramatizes almost every skin it touches. It's equally effective whether your hair is blonde, brown, auburn, or brunette. So you see, you can't possibly make a mistake if the shade you choose is Lady Esther Bridal Pink. Now, it may be that your druggist is sold out of Bridal Pink because the demand for it has been exceptional. And if he is out of it, try some other store. But be sure to accept no substitutes. For remember, no shade can give you the fascinating look of a woman in love, like Lady Esther Bridal Pink.
Lady Esther presents the second act of Joy of Living, starring Robert Young and Louise Albritton. Believe it or not, it's happened at last. Dan has Maggie all to himself. And as they make their getaway in the cab, the big fellow turns to her and, as usual, grins.
Well, we made it. You're pretty lucky I came along.
I just hope you're an only child. That would make it lucky for the world.
As a matter of fact, I've got 3 brothers up in Boston. All 3 of them crazy.
Crazy?
They must be. They're bankers.
Aren't you ever going to grow up?
What for? So I could be like you?
Well, I beg your
Now, look.
pardon.
What are you getting out of life? You're a slave to your public, to your producer, your family. Well, what's it getting you?
Well, I'm very happy in my work. I've been on the stage since I was 5.
That's what I mean. You never had any youth.
I most certainly did.
I don't believe it. You ever make mud pies?
You're being silly.
No, I'm not. It's lots of fun. Ever go to a circus and eat hot dogs and peanuts till you had a tummy ache?
I did not.
It's too bad. That's fun, too. You ever walk in the rain in your bare feet like a normal kid?
Well...
No. You never dare do what you want, when you want to. You've been too busy making money. It's time you learned how unimportant it is.
Well, what are you going to do?
Show you more fun than you've ever dreamed of. The cost of a princely sum, $2.
$2.
Excluding taxi fares, of course. Miss Garrett, I believe this cab is on you.
Tell me, isn't this place a little bit cheesy?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's Swiss. That's the head man coming over.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening.
You would like to order something, yes?
You bet. Go ahead, Guinevere. Go the limit.
On $2 whole?
Anything to make you a steady customer.
All right, I'll start with a champagne.
Beer. 2 beers. 2 5-cent beers.
Yeah, well, Pity shame, my lady. You are Margaret Garrett, no?
No.
But so much she looks like
I beg your pardon. This lady is my wife.
Oh, so?
So.
Well, because I have made a mistake, also because the lady is not Miss Garrett, gives free the first beer. Yeah, give it free.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Now let's watch that $2 bankroll disappear.
Correction, please. Their bankroll, she is now $2.10.
Two more beers yet it gives. And here is the change.
Thank you, boss.
Oh, don't mention it, please.
Hey, how much left now?
$1.40.
It's disappearing, all right.
Your arm getting tired from lifting the glass?
Oh, I say not. You better order another piece of beer. Oh, excuse me. I must have got my feet wet.
You got your nose wet. Don't you think you've had enough?
Say, are you incinerating I've been drinking?
Who am I to incinerate?
Yes, who are you?
Remember me, I'm the guy that wants to go to paradise. I'm also the guy who thinks you ought to go home.
Listen, you know what? I do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Oh.
Yes, oh. Pardon? Sorry. Excuse me.
Try holding your breath.
All right.
Maybe if I put this steel knife at the back of your neck.
Oh, silly, that's for nosebleeds.
Oh. Look, put your finger on your upper lip and...
That's for sneezing.
Wait, I know. Pick up your glass and take 9 swallows without breathing. That's it. 1, 2, 3. You know you didn't have to finish the glass.
Well, I thought it might... Oh.
Gosh, this is awful. I better do something.
Hey! So what's the matter? What is it? You scared me half to death.
Sure. But I cured you.
Mr. Gentleman, you cannot do this to my place. No, sir, no.
Oh, my good man. I don't think I'll even ignore you. Do you realize who I am? I am Margaret Garrett.
Please, no more jokes. I must ask you to leave.
Very well. Very well. There are other Chinese restaurants in this town. Dan. Dan, I want to go to a circus.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maggie. No circus in town.
Oh, then I want to go to Coney Island. Hot dogs and shoot the chutes and merry-go-rounds.
Look, don't you think you need some sleep?
Sleep? Sleep? Oh, I don't want any sleep for the rest of my life.
Maggie, wake
up.
Oh, darling. It's Monday morning.
Oh, but I... Oh? Emerson, what's up?
Everyone but you. And the family's curious about that man's shoe in front of your door.
Man's shoe? Oh, that must be Dan. Where is he, Harrison?
Well, the family thought he might be in here. I better tell them their darling is safe.
Oh.
Well,
Is he there? Slow down, everybody. There's no man in there. But, Harrison, this shoe...
I believe that's mine.
What?
Thank you. I'll need it. Personal idiosyncrasy. Wear both shoes or none. Maggie, you decent?
Yes, Dan, come in.
You'll excuse me, folks?
But
Well, how do you like that?
I don't.
Dan, I still don't understand it. Where did you sleep?
With Mike. He snores.
But how did you ever get in the house?
Don't you recall? You insisted. You said it was snowing too hard for me to go home.
Oh. When did it start snowing?
It didn't.
Oh, I remember. I had a glass of beer.
You, sir? Are you kidding?
Oh, Dan, I never had so much fun in the world. It was wonderful.
That's just the beginning, Mrs. Brewster.
Mrs. Why did you say that?
You wish I hadn't.
No. No, I'm glad. You still insist on using that same judge?
Absolutely. I want to hear him put me on probation for life. Darling, we'll be in paradise before you know it.
In paradise.
I'll go down and get the ship ready.
The ship?
Yeah, you know. How else can we get there?
Oh, but Dan. Dan, you're forgetting I have a contract.
You're going to have a better one.
But I can't just pick up and leave the show and the family and everything. Don't you see?
Wait a minute. This sounds a lot like where I came in.
Please try to understand, Dan.
I do. People never change, I guess. For a little while there, you had me hoping.
Don't you think I owe my family something?
Sure, you owe them the right to get along on their own. They've used you for a prop so long.
Well, that's not true. Dan, I know it'll work out. Dan, darling, if you'll just be patient.
You're asking me to stand by and make mud pies while you're being sliced and served on toast by a bunch of squalling cannibals.
Cannibals?
Savages.
Will you get out of here?
It's a pleasure.
Dan. Oh, Dan, you can't go. You can't.
Well, we got rid of him, all right.
Maggie, darling, were you out of your mind?
Well, I don't know, Mother. Maybe.
But, dear, suppose the papers had got hold of it. It would have been a scandal.
They'd have canceled your contract just like that. And where would we have been then?
I don't know. I was hoping for a little bit you'd worry about me.
But, darling, we are.
After all, my dear, $5,000 a week.
Maggie, don't you see?
Yes, Selena, I'm beginning to.
Now, don't you worry, darling. It's just the strain of opening and all. Now, this summer we'll take a nice place down at the shore. And you
No, I don't think so, Mother.
Up in Westchester, maybe.
I'm afraid not, Dad. This summer you and Mother will be here in New York. You'll have to stick around. You'll be in business.
In business?
Yes, dear. You have a whole cellar full of antiques. They're worth a fortune. You can start with them.
I think she's gone nuts.
And you, Bert, you've got a pretty strong back. There must be someone who'll give you a job.
Bert, go to work?
Yes, and you too, Selena, dear. You've always wanted a career, so you'll have one. You'll take my place in the show tonight.
Tonight?
Well, you always thought you could fill my shoes. Okay, here they are. I guess that's all. Goodbye, everyone.
Maggie, where are you going?
You wouldn't understand.
But it's raining, dear. You can't go without your shoes.
Oh, can't I? Come along and see me.
Taxi! Taxi!
I could try for you. They're pretty hard to get.
Oh, Dan, you didn't go away. You stayed.
Well, I had a little time to kill.
Darling, I'm so glad.
So am I. Hey, what's the idea? You got your shoes off.
Well, I do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Well, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. Now, Where to, my Lady Guinevere?
Dan, is it still a go? I mean, you and me and Paradise and Mrs. Brewster and the judge and...
Now, take it easy. Don't get excited.
Well, excited? Who's excited? Oh, I am, I guess. And I think I love it.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Robert Young and Louise Albritton, for an extremely delightful half hour.
Well, Mr. Bradley, I'm sure I can talk for Bob as well as myself when I say that an invitation to appear with the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players is something we regard as a privilege. After all, this is our show. We know how much it does for the Motion Picture Relief Fund and its country house, and we're all of us happy and proud to share in it. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Albritton. Ladies, I'd like to impress upon you once again that my new powder shade, Bridal Pink, isn't for any one particular type of coloring. It's blended a new way to be intensely flattering to 4 basic skin types. It's the first time in the history of powder making this has been possible. And the texture of Lady Esther face powder is like no powder texture you've ever known. It's blended by the tremendous speed and force of hurricanes. The powder and color particles are blown together until they merge completely, become one, and provide a beautiful covering for your skin. You'll see the difference when you apply Lady Esther face powder. You'll see how tiny lines and blemishes are completely covered, how the texture of your skin becomes smoother and finer, how signs of weariness, of age, of neglect all vanish from your skin, hidden beneath a film of beauty. Lady Esther face powder clings hour after hour with a delicate, magnetic attraction to your skin. It's light as a feather on your face, but so fascinating, so young. Some women say it even makes the features look daintier. All this and heavenly shade, too. A shade that's gay and lively and just a little daring. So be sure to ask for Lady Esther Bridal Pink. Insist on Bridal Pink. If your dealer is out of it, go elsewhere. If you want to see a truly fascinating change in your appearance, accept no face powder but Lady Esther Bridal Pink.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players will present The Heavenly Body. It will star Ann Sothern, Reed Hadley, and William Powell. Be sure to listen. Robert Young appeared through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of Valley of Decision. Louise Albritton appeared through the courtesy of Universal Pictures, producers of That's the Spirit. Joy of Living was presented through the courtesy of RKO Radio Pictures. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. You save enough on the largest size jar of Lady Esther face cream to buy a box of Lady Esther face powder. So remember, ask for the largest size. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther, saying thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.